Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, and I'm Tuxedo Mask, and today we're gonna talk about, this one thing we're gonna talk about here. Let's see how far we get. Well, we look big, right? All right. So a lot of folks ask us, well, this is something we need to talk about. Is why there was no Christmas or no Yule Outstanding following of Sailor Moon. Now, there wasn't, and Sailor Moon had six followings. Well, actually, five followings between, the lie drawing and the books. I can't speak for the song shows, which there may have been five of those too. But there was no Yule Outstanding. The only film that might come close to being that was the Sailor Moon S, the film, which takes place during December, but doesn't exactly say when it actually is. But you know, yeah, and I do show up at one time as Santa Claus or Holy Fellow Nicholas, but there wasn't any. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we start up by saying there wasn't any at all. There never was. You know. Now I know there might be some folks out there saying, well, they couldn't come up with any. They didn't have enough time, or since it wasn't in the book, they couldn't put it in a live drawing. I don't know. But there were a lot of things that were done in the book that weren't done in a live drawing, and things that were done in a live drawing show weren't done in a book. You know? Yeah, that really gets to see and understand here. You know, we helped Santa Claus out many times. In the followings after the five first followings, and for some grounds, it just never came up. Why there was never a Yule Outstanding or anything like that. You're right about that, Sailor Moon. I mean, Sailor Moon had what, five followings between a live drawing show and the books. Well, there were 12 followings of the book and only five followings of the live drawing, but none of them had any Yule Outstanding following or anything like that. Now I know there's going to be some folks out there thinking, well, it didn't happen in a book, so it didn't happen in a live drawing. Well, as Sailor Moon said, there were a lot of things that happened in a live drawing show that didn't happen in the books, and a lot of things that happened in books that didn't happen in a live drawing show. You know, but whatever grounds, there was no Yule Outstanding following, never was, and there were some outstanding followings of Sailor Moon that were you know that that Viz put into English, but were never put in English either by Deke or Pioneer or Cloverway back in the day. But you really couldn't, but none of them were Yule Outstanding followings, to be earnest with you. I don't know why there never was one. I don't know why either. Maybe they couldn't come up with one. Maybe they didn't think it would fit the Sailor Moon world. I don't know. I mean, the Power Rangers had many Yule Outstanding followings, even though the first one didn't take stead until 19 between 95 YL, but they did have a lot of them. You know, but for whatever grounds, Sailor Moon just didn't have one. You know, and I know there are a lot of folks out there saying, well, maybe there need be. Well, no one really knows why there was not. You know, and yes, as Sailor Moon did say earlier, I don't know why there was not one. Right. I mean, if you want to say there was kind of a one, then the only one you could say that kind of came out like that would be Sailor Moon S, the movie. and that takes stead in December, somewhere around there. Because when we're fighting some of, Queenling Bathview's uh, underlings, what do you want to call them? Tuxedo Max does show up to help me and Sailor Mini Moon as Santa Claus or Holy Fellow Nicholas. But at the end of the day, um, there really was. I guess you could say that was the only one. And yes, at the end of Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars, there were Sailor Moon song discs that came out, and those had a lot of Yule songs on them and stuff like that. But there really wasn't any Yule Outstanding following of either in the book or in a live drawing show or anything like that. So your guess good as mine why there was not. Yeah, and another thing is Sailor Moon. A lot of folks out there, it just doesn't come up. You know, a lot of folks in the Sailor Moon followership on YouTube and whatever, they don't talk about it. It just doesn't come up. It's like the one thing that out of everything they'll talk about, they just don't talk about that. We might be the only ones that ever talked about why there was never no Yule Outstanding following of Sailor Moon. And it wasn't like they didn't have enough followings to put one in. They did. Sailor Moon had about 5 followings if you look at if you look at Toei and the Viz work offshoot, and about 4 if you count the Deke and Cloverway offshoot. But they could have put one in there, But whatever ground, they just chose not to. It wasn't like there wasn't like they thought folks would get irked or mad over that thing, you know. But for whatever grounds, Sailor Moon just didn't have a Yule Outstanding. Why? I don't know. Maybe they thought that the Dark Kingdom, or the Dark Moon, or maybe they thought that the Death Blasters, or maybe they thought that the Dead Moon Big Top, or the Sailor Architect, whatever you want to call it, maybe they thought them going after Holy Fellow Nicholas wouldn't work out. I don't know. Whatever the grounds is, they just didn't think it would work out. You're right about that, Tuxedo Mask. I'm going to end this film soon, but before I do, I'm going to let everybody know it just never happened. We just never had a Yule Outstanding. There just was never any Yule Outstanding for any of my work. Toei never made one. So since Toei never made one, that meant that Deke and Pioneer and Cloverway couldn't work with one. That meant Viz couldn't work with one, because there never was one. And I don't know why that was. For whatever grounds, there just never was a Yule Outstanding following of my show. And you can pick and choose whatever offshoot you want, whatever the English offshoots or any offshoot out there. You can look at all the 12 followings of my books if you want. It never comes up. Oh yeah, there never is. So your guess goes mine. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Tuxedo Mask. Hope you like this film.